What's up, 500K? How's everybody doing today? Happy Monday. I missed you guys. I was gone last week because I had just had surgery. I had my gallbladder removed. But I am back and I am ready to party. And I'm here to talk about victim mentality. This is something that I've fallen into so many times in my life. I still do from time to time. I mean, of course, we're human beings, so nobody is exempt from this. We're always doing this work. I'm just checking on my phone to make sure I'm live and to make sure comments are working. So if you guys show up here and say hello to me, I would love it if you could just say hello in the comments so I can see if they're working. Otherwise, I'll just keep my phone open. It actually looks like the comments might not be working today. So anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. My name is Laura Mazzotta, and I am an Akashic therapist. That means that I have been a therapist for almost 20 years. I'm also an Akashic healer and teacher, which is from the space of the Akashic Records. So I bring in the wisdom from spirit, from guides, from loved ones, from ascended masters to really fuel whatever you happen to be doing in your business, in your personal life, etc., to assist you with getting that unique feedback that is just for you. So I am here today to talk about victim mentality because it's something that I have struggled with for years off and on. I think most of us do. In fact, I truly think that victim mentality is something that we need to experience. I think it's actually good for us to experience victim mentality because it puts us in a space that really highlights where we don't want to be, and assists us with identifying, the part of ourself that feels wounded. So a lot of times in business, we feel wounded when people won't buy our offers, when people won't sign up, when people don't seem to be takers on whatever it is we're offering, right? And we can feel like, oh, this always happens. Like, poor me. I try and try. I work so hard. I'm approaching this from my heart. I'm a loving person. My intentions are good. And yet nobody's buying or nobody's coming to me. This is always what happens. It's always one thing after another. I post this and I get crickets. I post that and I get crickets. I try this way and I get crickets. Right? Those are the kinds of ways that victim mentality can enter your business. And so what does that do? That sabotages your business, right? Of course, because what you focus on expands. So when you're not focusing on celebrating even the littlest bit of progress, and you're not focusing on what it is you ultimately desire to create within your business or what it is you ultimately desire to create for yourself in your life, then you're not going to get there because you're not holding the vision. You're not holding space for it, really. It's like when you're thinking about, okay, I desire to have a six-figure business and I desire for it to bring in this many clients per year. Now, to be honest with you, for me, I do not like setting those kinds of goals because they don't really work for me. And they actually hold me back. My energy is, and this is why I love working with energy and working with the Akashic Records to open your unique record because my unique energy is very feminine in nature. It's very flowing. It's very spontaneous. I much appreciate allowing spirit to guide me, allowing my energy to guide me on a day-to-day basis as to what I am meant to be doing that day to fulfill my purpose, to take care of myself, to live the life that I desire. So I don't set those specific goals, but what I will do is I will allow myself to dream. I will allow myself to really tap into what it feels like to have what it is I desire, which is, for me, I keep it vague. More money, more freedom, more vitality. Right? And so for me, when the victim mentality comes up, the first question to ask is, does this support who I want to become? And that those three things I just mentioned, more money, more vitality, and I don't even know what else I said. more energy, probably. Who knows? Freedom, that's what it was. It's Monday. Come on, I'm getting my day started. So, getting my day started at 1:00, right? Hi, Darlene. So good to see you. So that's how we can really sabotage our business because we're focusing so much on oh, I've been dealt such a rough hand of cards, either with this business or in your life. And So if you act like a victim, the number one thing I can tell you in your business is that you're going to be disempowered and you are not standing in authority. You are not standing in your authority. This is why I believe it is important to turn towards your victim mentality and acknowledge it when it comes up, because it's there to highlight and to cue you to not only, like I said before, make you realize that this is not what you want to be sitting in, but to realize like it's time to boss up, right? It is time to boss up. When victim mentality comes up, that's exactly what I want you to think and realize. Hi, Angela. So good to see you, honey. Okay. It's time to boss up. So how do you boss up? Well, guess what? I am going to read you guys the letter that I wrote to myself, that I read to myself when I am in victim mentality, right? To get my ass up. Because when we are being called to boss up, we're not doing it by criticizing ourselves, okay? We're not doing it by kicking ourselves hard in the ass, okay? That criticism is not a motivator, and it's what we're used to, and it's what we typically go to. Oh, here we go. Feeling sorry for myself again, right? And that's another way that victim mentality presents, or being like, oh, here we go again. This next phase is going to start, and I'm going to do all this work, and then what's going to happen, right? The other thing is timing, guys. Like, really think about, for me, I know very, very confidently that I am going to make $1 million in my business. I'm at multiple six figures now. I know that I'm going to make $1 million. But guess what? I don't hold myself to when I'm making that. I don't need to make it by the end of this year. I don't need to make it by next year. I know with 110% confidence that I'm going to make it at some point. I don't know how it's going to come to me. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know it's going to arrive. So that's the other piece with victim mentality. Surrender the timing. So what if it doesn't show up in this launch, or if it doesn't show up next month, or if it doesn't show up this week, right? That doesn't mean it's not out there for you to take it. Trust that it will arrive when you are ready to receive it, implement it, and hold it. When the first time I had my first 70K month, right? I had my first 70K month, and I freaked the hell out because I did not know fully how to hold that. I knew mostly how to hold that. I'd done some work with my coach, and I'd done my own energy work, but I was like, oh my God, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it felt like pressure. It felt like I was so excited and so freaked out, like, oh my gosh, I have to keep this up. Like, if I don't keep this up, then what? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It means amazing. It means there's potential, right? And when we focus on that and we allow ourselves to learn how to hold it, I did some work to integrate this higher level of energy for like 3 days. I was not very patient with myself, right? I did it for like 3 days and I was like, all right, I'm good. I've integrated. I needed more time. Right. And then I didn't feel well for a couple of weeks because I wasn't allowing myself to hold it. So that's the other piece, is like giving yourself that time to celebrate your progress and then integrate it. Okay. And then I'm going to read you this letter, and I might stop in the middle sometimes and share a little ad lib because I love to do that. But okay, so here we go. When you find yourself in victim mentality, and that's number one, is to realize that you are in victim mentality, right? That you have that awareness. Any kind of that poor me or defeatist mentality or I can't, any of that coming in, because you can, right? The universe is limitless. Thank you, Darlene. I love your vote of confidence. Boss up, ladies. What do you mean by integrating it? Oh, okay. Thank you for asking that, Angela. So integration is something I knew nothing about, and I honestly sucked at. I really sucked at it at the beginning of my business, and honestly at the beginning of my spiritual healing journey, because I was impatient, right? I still have some characteristics of impatience that jump up from time to time. Still working on that one. But integration is really about allowing yourself to receive and really hold all of this energy. Because money is energy, or any shifts that you have in your life, right? So let's say you get a bunch of new clients all at once or something that flow in. then at that point, you're like so excited, right? But you need to upgrade your energy field to be able to hold all of this extra energy that you've brought in. Otherwise, you're going to be twitchy, and it could just be excitement, right? But what happens is it gives our nervous system the message that we're not safe. Because if we haven't held this amount of money or this amount of clients for a long period of time or before in our lives, our energy field might feel like, oh, this is all this stimulation coming in at once, right? It's like going into a nightclub and having a disco ball and loud music and strobe lights. And you've been, sitting in a cabin for a month and you're coming into this club and you're like, whoa, and your nervous system's like twitch, twitch, right? And it's freaking out. And sometimes that can be excitement as well, but you need to remind your nervous system, even if you're excited and this all feels positive to you, you need to remind your nervous system that you are safe, that you are grounded, that there's no expectations, that you are coming from a place of love, that you are coming from a place of intention, right? And give yourself at least a week to allow yourself to just sit there, palms to the sky, and just breathe and say, oh my gosh, look what I've created with the universe. I'm so excited. I'm appreciating it, sitting in gratitude and fully immersing yourself in it, because otherwise your nervous system is not going to learn the lessons it needs to be able to hold more and more. One of the good ways to do that too is to use breath work, right? To continue to expand our heart space or our belly. I recommend the lower belly because that's going to be more grounding into safety for you. But you can breathe into your lower belly, really blow it up like a balloon and hold it extended for as long as you can, envisioning and feeling all of this gratitude and this new energy that's come in, and then allow it to release and go all the way back down and then do it again. Just a few times. You don't need to do it much, but it's, again, going in there with that intention to expand your capacity to hold this energy so that you are not going to be overstimulated having all these people in your container. So that you are not going to freak out when somebody all of a sudden says, I can't pay my monthly fee if they signed up for a payment plan. Or, I'm having trouble integrating the material or whatever, right? And that you're going to be building a stronger foundation for yourself and really expanding your ability to hold more and more and more. Yes, okay, cool, Angela. Thank you for asking. Okay, so here we go. So you realize that you are in I can't mode. I don't know how. I'm feeling lost. I'm overwhelmed, blah, blah, blah mode. Okay? Here's the letter. I am not a victim. And I encourage you guys to read this stuff out loud too. And if you need me to share it, let me know. I am a warrior. Every moment of the day is a new opportunity to choose who I am being and want to become. I am strong. I am resilient. I will not fall prey to thinking I can't because. I will choose creativity, thinking outside of the box to determine how I can. This requires knowing my desires. So I sit in stillness for 3 minutes to allow them to come through. And then I'll give myself that time, of course. Because listen to this I will choose creativity, right? You're just shutting off your creativity when you're in victim mode, right? Like, I can't because. There's always a way around it. Like, I ask myself every day, like, how can this become easier? Like, how can I make this easy? When I start to get to that point that I'm like, okay, I'm starting to put effort into this. Like, how can this be easier? There's literally always a way for things to be easier that we're doing. From cooking dinner to go running errands to helping your kids to working on your business, right? Okay, so here we go. So I sit in stillness for 3 minutes to allow them to come through. No dice. What would I know as my desires if I were my own client? Right? I guarantee you, if you are sitting with your own client and they say, I don't know what I want. If you have a relationship with them, even a couple times that you've met with them, you're able to say, what about this? Like, you're so good at this, or you love this. This is when you've been so happy. This is what you told me you enjoy so much, right? You'd be able to say that to your client. So you have that information on yourself as well. And then you write down, one thing I can do is go outside. One thing I can do is shower or bathe. One thing I can do is create a yummy snack. One thing I can do is remember that I can. And then you start making a list. I can blank, blank, blank. Or if you can't think of something in the moment, you can write I have, like list things you've done before. You're relying on your own empowerment, your own strength, things that you've done before that have gotten you where you need to go. You're calling on that now. I have, right? And then the last part of this, the last prompt here is to write, I will, dot, dot, dot. I will boss up, right? That's one of the ones I wrote for myself. I will boss up. How can I be more of a boss in my own life, for my own being, for my clients, for my business? I highly recommend that when you're in victim mentality, it's how do you boss up for yourself, not for other people, not for your business. How do you become a greater authority of your own emotions? How do you become a greater authority of your own thoughts, of your own actions, of your own energy, of your own steps that you take forward, right? So that's my recommendation to you, is to shift into boss mode for your personal life. This could be in parenting. It could be in your relationships. It could be in cooking nutritious meals. It could be in moving your body. It could be in journaling. It could be spending more time in stillness. It could be showering more. You know, it could be buying that shirt that you've been thinking about for 3 weeks. How are you going to boss up for yourself? Because the key here is when victim mentality shows up, it means that you are not fully standing in your own authority. This could be your personal authority and it could be your professional authority. Okay? So you are going to boss up in some way, shape, or form. And it's going to be different every time. And the goal is not to make yourself the snack or to take the actual action that you're taking. The goal is just to remove victim mentality and to step more into your own authority and to step more into owning who you are authentically, good, bad, ugly, however you define it. Because the more you show up that way, the more you're going to draw in what you're looking for. Okay? So let me know if you guys have any questions on this. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you're here on the replay by typing #replay. Oh, I actually, I have a masterclass coming up, a free masterclass next week. No, it's not. It's this week. See, it's Monday already. It's called Held, and this is for your inner child. Okay, I'm gonna type it in. Actually, I can't type it in here. It's not letting me do comments on my computer today. Shocker. So I'll do it on my phone. But so this is a free masterclass, and it's happening on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And this is for holding and nurturing your inner child. So talk about safety, right? Talk about grounding your nervous system, comforting yourself, getting yourself to that point where you really feel that you have a strong foundation, that you're standing on solid ground, because that is what we need sometimes to be able to get our nervous systems to that state of authority and empowerment, because sometimes we don't feel safe enough to go there without really securing ourselves. So that's what this is going to do for you. I put the link in the comments. You can read all about it on that page. Sign up. Again, nothing to lose. This is free. It's an opportunity that we're going to join together in a Facebook Live and take some time for yourself. Take some time to love on yourself. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.